In this video, GB News Beverly Turner asked President Trump what he thought about the strong possibility of Andy Burnham becoming the next UK Prime Minister. But what came out of that conversation was something much bigger than Andy Burnham. Trump, without even meaning to, exposed three levels of management failure happening right now in Britain: strategic management, operational management, and reputational management. Welcome to Politics and Principles, where we don't just talk politics, but the principles that should be driving political decisions and actions. Let's get into the details.
The new incoming Prime Minister, Andy Burnham.
I don't know anything. I see that he was, I guess, the mayor of a town. I hear he's extremely liberal. Extremely. So that means he probably won't open up the North Sea.
Trump didn't know much about Andy Burnham, who is currently Greater Manchester Mayor. He had just heard he was extremely liberal. And for Trump, that was enough to raise a red flag about his suitability to lead the country. What came next was more revealing. Trump brought up Keir Starmer. He said he likes him, but he said that he tried to give him advice on three things: immigration, energy, and crime.
The North Sea, and I gave Keir Starmer some pretty good advice. Immigration and energy, and crime too, by the way. Crime, and you have a tremendous energy problem. You're building stupid windmills all over the country, and they don't do the job. I said, open up the North Sea. Go to Aberdeen, which was the hottest city in the whole continent. It was the oil city. It was the oil of Europe. And they closed everything. It was terrible. And UK is dying. So they should open up the North Sea. It's an easy one. And a lot of good things are going to happen.
Because those were the three biggest problems facing Britain right now. Starmer refused to listen. That is a strategic management failure. Immigration, energy, and crime are the three biggest issues the British public care about. And the Prime Minister wouldn't take counsel on any of them.
And I told this guy 15 times, and he wouldn't do it. I said, you're going to lose your prime ministership. And he did.
Then Trump turned to London's Mayor Sadiq Khan and called him grossly incompetent. That is an operational management failure. Khan is a man responsible for running one of the greatest cities in the world. Yet the leader of the free world says he cannot do the job.
You have a terrible mayor of London, by the way. I don't want to cause any problems, but your mayor of London is grossly incompetent, a bad person, and a horrible representative for your country. You know that. The mayor of London is a horror show, but you have a crime problem. You have an immigration problem. The immigration helps cause the crime, by the way.
And Khan is not the only example of operational mismanagement. Britain is paying Norway billions annually for oil from the North Sea. Yet Britain is not giving private companies the necessary approvals to drill for more oil in the North Sea to meet the nation's needs.
I mean, your country's going to go bankrupt. Think of it. You have one of these. Now, most countries don't have that. You have the North Sea oil, and you have the best part of it. Think of it. You go to Norway, who doesn't have the best part of it, and you give them, and they have $2 trillion in the bank. You know, they have $2 trillion, maybe more, because the UK pays them all this money and others. But you have one of the greatest fields, and
we have the resource, but refuse to manage it sufficiently to meet our needs. Trump is saying all of this on camera in the Oval Office. Britain's closest ally is publicly describing the people managing the UK this way. That is a reputational management failure, and it is one that cannot be unseen. Most of us have managed something in our lives: a team, a business, a household. We know that when management breaks down, everything that depends on it starts to suffer. That is as true for a nation as it is for anything else. Management is not just a business principle, it's a governing one. Every failing nation has a management crisis at its center. You took the job, the responsibility is yours. When resources are mismanaged, inflation rises. When prices go up on everything, the people paying the taxes cannot pay their bills. When they cannot pay their bills, you fall in the polls. You lose elections in places you should never have lost. And when results disappear, you lose the trust of your allies at home and abroad. Declining living standards are a management problem. Declining social cohesion is the result of government decisions or the lack of them. Trump is calling out British politicians for their mismanagement of Britain, not because he dislikes them, but because he loves the United Kingdom. Managing a country means putting the good of the nation first, not protecting a political inner circle. Trump's mother was born in Scotland, so he feels a deep personal connection to Britain. He sees the country being destroyed by incompetent leaders and wants it to thrive. As the leader of the free world and a successful businessman, Trump recognizes Britain's great potential, while our own politicians can't. Until our leaders start seeing themselves as managers, people placed in position to make the nation safer, wealthier, and more prosperous, we are going to keep watching the revolving door of prime ministers in Britain keep spinning. As Dr. Myles Munroe said, anything you mismanage, you lose. Britain's leaders would do well to remember that leaders will change, but principles never change. Let me hear your thoughts in the comments. Is this nation in crisis because of government mismanagement? If you want a principled perspective on management in government and politics, hit the like button, share this video, and subscribe to our channel for more.